Hey guys, what's up? This is going to be a really quick one, guys. I just want to give you guys an update on what's happening and everything. I was going to be doing an interview with Ron today, but actually, I'm on a break right now. I'm working and I'm on a break. So I got to get this, I wanted to get this out to you. I was going to do an interview with Ron, Tyler, and Terry today, and it's just not going to happen because of, I'm on a break at work. So we're going to try to do it tomorrow, I believe. I'll keep you guys updated on that as you know as we go on here. If I'll post it on my community tab. I may even do a short little 2-minute video or something like that. Not sure yet. But me and Ron are definitely doing a video together. It'll like I said, it'll probably be tomorrow. Was going to be today, but again, things happen and life happens. You know what I'm saying? So hi to everybody in there. Just let me say, I want to give a couple shout outs here, guys, to some people who's been supporting the channel and stuff. Angel M, Cheryl S, Jacqueline, Linda I, David W, Jill D, and Ralph D. And there's been, B Strom is in there also. Mariska, Tabitha, Linda, David again, Jill again. So, and Cheryl, Angel, like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for, donating to the channel and stuff. I do appreciate it. Again, guys, it's not expected. It is definitely appreciated. My PayPal link is in the description. So, but anyway, we'll move on here. Hey, Ricky, what's happening? Ain't seen you in a minute. Well, I seen you about a week ago, I guess. I seen you posted a video, guys. Go check out Ricky's video. I got a notification. I haven't had a chance to watch it myself yet, but sorry, this is going to be kind of a short one. I want to get this stuff out to you, and I'm not really sure I'll have time to do it later on. So I'm just going to do it now. Again, guys, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the chat away. Guys, please be respectful in there. My mods know the rules. They'll give you a warning or whatever first, and then if most people know the rules. Just be an adult. It's pretty much that simple. No vulgarity. Can't attack others. Can't attack other channels, even if you think I don't like them. So, anyway, we'll move on. The Schumann guys, look at this. This is a crazy looking little spike. I guess it ain't really all that little. But, there's a lot of horizontal things going on here, and I talked about this in my last live stream. But, yeah. So I really don't know what to make of that. It's probably from the space weather at some level. Some of this is caused by that. This had nothing to do with the CME from that day. That energy does not get here that fast. Okay, guys, we have to understand that. We can't go to the 23rd and go back and look at the sun on the 23rd. The only thing that gets here that quick is X-ray. And the X-ray is not going to change the Schumann. Just so you know. So when we go back and we look at the sun, we got to go back 3 or 4 days and look at the sun. At the very least, sometimes even further back than that. But also notice here that there was another spike, and, my guess is there was some spiking going on here too. Okay, there's some missing data here for whatever reason. I'm not going to sit here and waste a whole bunch of time trying to decide, oh gosh, is it something nefarious? This thing is not, I'm not doing that. What I'm saying here is there's missing time and there's absolutely nothing we can do to even get it back. So why even waste breath even talking about it? So what I'm saying here, we're looking at this, and this is definitely, I think there was some spiking going on during that. And yes, we had some space weather happening. So let's take a look at it. We had, this is an uptick in our geomagnetic activity, okay? We've been in storm level off and on days before this. We were expected to get into storm level again, but then they changed their mind and brought it down. I think what happened was that the CME that was coming at us that was going to give us a glancing blow didn't hit us as hard. Didn't hit us as head on as they thought it might right here. Because this is really where when we had the best chance of getting into storm level. There hasn't been any flaring, okay? Which is actually a little surprising given the amount of active areas on the front side of the sun. That just means that those areas are stable. You know, and as they become more and more complex and more unstable, that's when we watch them, okay? Now remember, the sun can fire a flare, a CME, or whatever anytime it wants. It doesn't have to have a sunspot to do so. It can do what it just does it sometimes whenever it wants. Now the chances of us seeing those kinds of things around a sunspot are greatly enhanced, okay? That's one thing I will say. Now, this is our first look at the sun. These two here are actually official sunspots. They have numbers. I think it's, this one's 11 and this one is 12. Let's just go here real quick. 2811 and 2812. Okay, this one does not have a number anymore. It was numbered when it was over here, but it lost some of its characteristics, so that's why it's not no longer. But as we look at this, you can see how we got some coronal holes still, appearing, and this is what we've been getting our solar weather from our space weather. This is why we went into storm levels, because of these coronal holes. Now remember, the one that just rotated off here was most definitely a big one. Okay, it took up about a quarter of the front side of the sun. It was a big one. All that does is it allows more of it out, and so that's why we got up into storm level. Now I'm seeing something a little. We'll take a look at this real quick though. You can see the sunspot here too on the visible. So these are definitely substantial sunspots, and we just got to keep an eye on it. If you look at LASCO C3, this is our view. Okay, the satellite's is on SOHO, is the satellite that this tool is on, and it's looking at the sun. It's right out in front of us. You can see here faintly that's a CME. Okay, and we'll go over that in just a second. But excuse me, sorry. But we are getting a little bit of an uptick in our solar weather conditions right now as I'm talking to you. Now you can see that they're still expecting this. So, that's within the next day. That should be, well, actually, I think that's already, what is today anyway? It's today the 23rd or the 24th. Today's the 24th. So that's actually, this is actually behind. Okay, like I said, guys, I just clicked this up. I was just going to roll with it. So this is behind. So I'm not even going to show you guys this one. That's behind. So it's not valid, is what I'm trying to say. So I did take a look at this though, the Discover data, and as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing an uptick here in the past hour or so. So what I'm saying here is the BZ dropped out too, which is why I'm even bringing this up. That's the angle, remember? If it gets to -6, that means the angle's correct to really bring in the stuff to us. Now, if we look at this, we got the phi angle, it flipped too at the same time. Plus, we had a density dropout and a solar wind increase at the exact same time. All those happened at the same time. And that just happened, like I said, about an hour ago. So we may see an uptick here. This next 3-hour bar, I would say, is probably going to be a little higher. I don't think we're into storm level or nothing, because if you look at the auroras, it is a little bit, that is an uptick of what we normally see, but it's not like way into the orange or the red or anything. That's the north and that's the south pole. Okay, here is the CME tracker. Now this is catching the one that started off on the 22nd. Okay, now that was the one I showed you guys already. We basically had two of them. It's a filament release on the top with the CME and a solar flare at the same time, plus the sun ejected on the bottom this direction. So you're seeing two different ejections, and it's kind of interesting that we split right in between them. It's happened before, obviously. I mean, throughout time, it doesn't happen all that often, but you can see how they're expecting us to take a glancing blow from maybe both of these. More so the top one, just so you know. But that looks like, we'll have to wait and see. Even if it does hit us, these are not very strong ones, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And that's why I really haven't been talking about it much. Our magnetopause models here, we'll take a look at it. The sun's off to the left. Okay, again, there's not much going on, guys. Okay, now see, look. See, when we got that uptick about an hour ago, look what happens to our magnetosphere. See that? We took some sort of a hit right there. And it does look like the overall intensification did rise a little bit. You see how this is more orange now? Instead of that lighter color right there. So it does look like that we're probably in a little bit more of a upticked area right now. I don't think it's anything to be overly concerned about. And as you can see here, what this is indicating, when you look at the density here, and you see how we got dark blue? When you see that turn from dark blue to white just inside of our magnetosphere, notice that nothing's changing outside of our magnetic field. Okay, our magnetopause back here. Okay, watch. See how it all just kind of filled in? What's happening there is we got a hit from faster solar wind. And I just showed you guys that over on Discover. Right here. See how the density dropped out? Solar wind went up. So that's exactly what this is telling us. The density dropped out, went back to white, which is the lower dense material on this graph, from the blue. So that's all confirming that, yes, something we did take a little bit of a hit, whatever, you know. It's not that big of a deal, like I said, though. I don't think it's going to put us in the storm level or anything. But then you look at the magnetic pressure, and you can definitely tell how something did graze us here, okay? Because we did react. So whatever that was, could have just been a little quick pop from a solar wind, increase of whatever, maybe a small little coronal hole, could have been a small little stealth solar storm that nobody could ever see or wouldn't really even matter much, because it just doesn't as we're looking at this. Now, this does give us an opportunity to see that, you know, we do really have like almost two bow shocks, just so you guys know that. You can kind of see it here representing here, and it's really kind of evident here too. What that is, well, you got a bow shock, and then that's really there's an area, and we're not going to talk about what's actually in between the bow shock and the front of our magnetic field. That, you know, there's a lot of technical terms there we would have to be throwing out, and I ain't got time to explain those today. That would take a minute. I would want everybody to understand what I was saying before I would jump into a conversation like that. But you can see how this is stretching around too, okay? But that essentially what you're seeing there is really the main part of our magnetic field, the beginning of it, okay? When stuff gets through our bow shock and stuff, this is really what's deflecting a lot of it. So just so you know. Aurora there, okay? I already showed you guys that. Okay, so this here is our geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid, unnatural electrical components. And as you can see, you know, nothing much going on until right there, about an hour ago. See it? So this is all showing you, hey, yeah, you know, we got something. Now, this is seeds, okay? This is LASCO C2. Satellite's right out in front of the sun. It's the same view as this one. This is LASCO C3. It's a wide angle. If we go here, this is a zoomed up angle. It's on the same satellite. So what you're looking at is, this is a CME. So I'm just going to play it, and we'll take a look at it. It's not a baby one, I'll tell you that. Now, looking at this, that's the occulter, right? So it does look like it's going off to our right. But I don't necessarily know if it is or not, because if we go to stereo A, our side view, or partially side view, it's here. Earth is kind of here as far as angle or perspective. We're not directly 45 degrees. Or, I'm sorry, 90 degrees. Duh. But anyway, as you can see here, everything's going to the right also. So that does mean that this is on the front side of the sun. It's not going off the back. So that means that it has potential coming our direction. I haven't been able to look at the data on it specifically on what direction it's actually going. But that is not a baby, okay? It's definitely something that, you know, we just need to look at. Just keep an eye on it, pretty much. Something else I did see here that it would be, you know, I just happened to catch it. It's not that big of a deal or anything like that, but it definitely is something that happened here. We have a little sun diver. See it? That's our second one in, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. See it right there? Right there. Okay. I don't think it made it to the sun. It probably got burnt up. Most of them do before they even get to the sun. But that is sun diver. So, you know, they're real cool when you see the big ones. You know, they kind of, I think most of us have probably seen them, but especially on the red view over here, they kind of arc out and they have a big flaming tail behind them. I mean, it looks really cool. Obviously, this one did not do that. So it's not made up. It's not as big. It's not made up of the same material, probably. Who knows what the core of it's made up of. But that was a sun diver. Just thought I'd report that to you. Okay. Now, check this out. This is spaceweather.com. It says the CME hit Earth's magnetic field on March 24th, approximately at 20 UT. The storm cloud, which left the sun on March 20th, I showed you guys that a minute ago, was expected to sideswipe Earth yesterday. Its delayed arrival could cause polar geomagnetic unrest and even... So what they're saying here is, because I haven't had a chance to look at the data yet, like I said, I'm on a break. What they're saying is, and I would agree to that, what you're seeing, what I just showed you guys here, is probably that CME hitting us. Okay, that's probably the glancing blow that they're talking about. So it'd be interesting to see how far we get as far as into storm level. They're saying, spaceweather.com is saying that we could possibly get up into G1 class. Now I do have to say this though, NOAA is not forecasting that. Okay, NOAA is only forecasting a 4 here and a 3, and then right back down. Regardless, it's not going to be that big of a storm. It won't be long lasting. It's just a glancing blow. But the 1 in 800 year shot right here. Check this out. Here's that volcano that's erupted in Iceland, and they got auroras over top of it. That is freaking cool. I don't care what anybody says. That is awesome, awesome stuff. I have to give a lot of props here to. Is it Christopher Matthews, maybe? Let's see here. Who? Let's see here. Last time a volcano erupted on Iceland's peninsula was almost 800 years ago. So consider this, a 1 in 800 year shot. Christopher Matthews is the one that got this shot. That is freaking crazy. That is awesome. I don't care, man. It just is. That's the kind of stuff that puts a smile on my face right there. That is just so cool. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, it's just you just got to look at that stuff in awe sometimes, like how crazy that our Creator and nature can be. I mean, just look at that. For him to be able to be standing there and take that picture, that's just so cool. So cool. Yeah, it's so cool it looks fake, right, Axe? For sure. What's up, Menacing? Muse? Sorry I've been kind of neglecting the chat here, but you guys know why. So, yeah, I mean, that is just... Now, this volcano is not going to stop erupting for a while. So we could get more of these. I would say that we probably will. He's probably I bet he's talking about setting up here a little bit and taking a lot of this. Historical accounts of ancient lava flows, because intermittent eruptions follow for 100 years. So yeah, so they're saying that this thing's probably going to have eruptions off and on for another 100 years. So I would say we'll get more of these, but man, look at that. That is just so awesome. I just can't even, so do me a favor. Go over here to spaceweather.com and give them some love. Even if you just click on their page and go in here and look at this, as it's driving traffic their way. They're doing the work on this, and this is something that is cool. And, a lot of us that do the space weather thing, we use spaceweather.com all the time, and I always give them credit, and I always put their link in my description. It stays there. It doesn't come out. So their link is in my description. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to do it here, right here in the chat too. Because, we got to give them credit, These guys are, they're doing it, man. They're doing the work. So, they deserve it, There's a lot of hard work that goes into a lot of this stuff, guys. Lots. So while we're here, what I will do here, we got 16 fireballs. That is a little bit elevated than what we have been seeing. That's what I'll say to that. Now, it's not an extreme number, okay? So don't let nobody tell you that's an extreme number, because it's not. When we start seeing like 200s, that's an extreme number. And we have seen that high before. There are no noctilucent clouds. We will be talking about that probably in the next couple of months on the North Pole. So it happens in the summertime in each pole. Now, here's the near-Earth object list. And notice that, when we looked at this probably 3 or 4 days ago, hardly any of this was here. You can go over here. You can see the year that these things were discovered. And the majority of them are going to be this year. Okay, it's just what it is. We're seeing more of them now. They're logging it, and we're able to look at it and see it. So, but if you guys ever come over here and you're looking at this, before you start like getting a little bit freaked out or whatever, when you see something that's 0.6 lunar distance, which is about just a little over halfway from us to the moon, always look at the size. Okay, it's 16 meters. That is not very big at all. Okay, the big one that just passed us on March 21st was 1,024 meters. Now, granted, that's a large one. Okay, so that's on the upper end of what we usually see. So, but just take in consideration before you start, getting a little bit upset or whatever, or freaking out a little bit when you see something coming this close. If this was to enter our atmosphere, it probably wouldn't do a whole lot. Especially if it was over water, we probably wouldn't even see it. It would burn up, and then we wouldn't even see it probably. The speed of it matters. That's 12 kilometers a second. All right, the big one was going at 34. Now, I will say 12 is actually, it's at least average. It's not above average in speed. But at the same time, guys, these didn't even hit us. These didn't come into our atmosphere or nothing. That's why they're near-Earth objects. So that's what I would say to that. I just see people freaking out over these things sometimes on some channels and things, and they're just blowing it way out of proportion. It just doesn't need to be that way. Because what happens when we actually need to come to you guys and say, hey, guys, listen, this one looks a little scary. We need to pay attention to this. Ain't nobody going to pay attention to it if we're out here screaming all day long about something that's not even a big deal. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. Hey, Texas lady, what's happening? Hey, what the hell? What's happening? So, yeah. So, as we're looking at this, that's just a small one. It's that simple. So, but yeah, guys. So, we'll take a look at the earthquakes. Ricky's in here, too. She could probably chime in on this if she needed to. I was looking at this. This doesn't look like a whole lot of activity going on. And please go check out her video on her channel. She was talking about some stuff. I haven't had a chance to go look at it yet. But even if we put on all magnitudes here, it doesn't look like we're having a whole lot. And I don't like that. And the reason why is because usually when this happens, and then we get space weather, or even if we don't, within about 3 or 4 days, we start having big ones popping. When things just go to like quiet conditions like this. So, that's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't really have much to add. But I will be doing an interview with Ron tomorrow, guys. Again, guys, situations come up and we had to postpone. So, I hope you guys come back for that one. And go check out Ricky. Yeah, that's what I said, Ricky. It's not necessarily a good thing when things are quiet. We got that. That's the whole thing. Things are building, I think, and sometimes it'll just pop, and then we get the big ones. Back at you, Sig. Good to see you, buddy. Nine Lives, what's happening? Axe, you need to email me, man. bluecool52@gmail.com. Email me. Anyway, guys, I do have to go. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll leave you with this right here. We'll go full screen for a minute on this. But do me a favor. Please go over here and look at this again. Okay? Give them some traffic on this capture. This is, like I said, this is something that is not, you know, this isn't something that, let me just back out of that like that. Okay? This is a 1 in 800 year type of thing. And it's impressive. So please go over here and check out spaceweather.com. There is the link. And once again, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves. And you can drink this Kool-Aid.